Welcome everyone. Let's begin our lesson for today by going over our learning goals and success criteria. First, what are we learning? We're learning how to use Google Classroom to complete your assignments for the class. You're learning how to use Remind to receive communication from your teacher. You're learning how to use Aeries to check your grades and assignments. And you're learning how to communicate personal information to your teacher and classmates in order to create a more personal atmosphere for the class. How are we learning it? Through the technology signups assignment and the personality survey assignment. When could you use the information in this lesson? To utilize Google Classroom daily to complete and submit your assignments. To utilize Remind, email, and Google Classroom to communicate with your teacher. To utilize Aeries to check your grades and view your scores on assignments. And to relay information to your teacher and classmates so that future lessons and discussions can be more personalized and inspire conversations. How do we know we learned it? By getting a score of 2 on the technology signups assignment and a 2 on the personality survey assignment. Now let's take a look at our agenda for today. We'll begin by going over our learning goals and success criteria. Then we'll go over the notes on basic instructions and technology signups. Then we'll go over some notes on the weekly raffles. After that, I'll give you time to complete the personality survey. Once you've completed the personality survey, we'll go over that together. At the end of class, we'll go back over our learning goals and success criteria while you fill out your before you go. Your only homework for tonight is to have your parents complete the parent survey and complete any incomplete assignments that you may have. Let's take a look at the basic instructions and technology signups notes. So, first of all, we have our learning goals and success criteria here. Welcome to the class. I hope that you're all excited to be here and experience this class together. Technology use. Every assignment for this class will be completed online. You will learn in class how to complete your work on Google Classroom. No assignments this year will be turned in on paper. So that means that you will need to bring your Chromebook to school with you every single day. If you forget your Chromebook or it dies, loaner Chromebooks and chargers can be available. But please try to bring it every day for yourselves. Google Classroom. Everyone should have a Google Classroom account set up through their school email. Students are asked to leave their notifications for Google Classroom on, meaning leave your notifications on, don't change your settings, so that when an assignment pops up or I respond to you or I send you a comment on there, that you receive it. So it should send you a notification through email. I would strongly suggest that all of you get the Google Classroom app on your phones so that when I send you a message, you get it to your phone and you can respond to it. Google Classroom submissions. All assignments will be turned in using Google Classroom. Any assignment that is not clicked mark as done on Google Classroom will not be graded. So it's not my job to figure out whether you completed the assignment or not. Your job is to tell me using Google Classroom that you have completed the assignment and you're ready for it to be graded. If you complete an assignment and do not receive a score that you like, you can always resubmit the assignment. So you'll redo the assignment, improve your score, and then click resubmit to get a higher score. Agendas. So on our agendas, at the top of it, we have our learning goals and success criteria. This is generally kind of what it looks like. So this will tell you what we're learning for the day and how you know if you did a good job on it. Learning goals and success criteria are provide information about what we will be covering for that day. The instructions provide what we are doing. What we're learning provides information about the learning goals or what we're covering for the day. How are we learning it provides information about the activities that we'll be using. When could you use it provides real-world applications for when that material can be used in your real life. And how do you know you learned it provides information about how you know if you did a good job. And usually that pertains to the rubric for the assignment. Then we have our agenda. Lesson plan for the day has the agenda, and this tells you what we're covering and how much time we'll be spending, and whether it will be guided instruction, meaning I'm helping you, or independent practice, meaning you're doing it on your own. And at the bottom, we have all the assignments for the week with links. So if you want to get a head start on some stuff, you can always do that using this. Assignments and grading. Every day you will have an assignment to complete. There will never not be a day that you don't have some kind of assignment to complete. Most of them will be done in class and submitted on Google Classroom. The assignment grade is based on the completion of your Get It Started, the assignment itself, and the Before You Go. So in order to get credit for your assignment, you have to complete all of those parts. Everything is graded on a 1 to 4 scale. So either as long as you complete the assignment, the lowest score you can get is a 1, and then you use the rubric to figure out your score from there. The only way to receive a 0 is if you do not complete the assignment at all. The Get It Started is what you complete at the beginning of class. It's just a warm-up activity, okay, to review any things that we've learned in the past. The accuracy of the Get It Started will be assessed, so you need to do it correctly, and that goes as part of your rubric score for the assignment. Before you go, you'll be asked to complete a before you go at the end. It's an exit ticket, and you'll be asked to tell me how you did on the assignment for that day and open up about one personal question. So I'll give you a question of the day. You'll answer that about some kind of personal thing. If you do not complete your before you go, you will lose points for the day. Okay, the e-hall pass system. If you need to use the restroom or leave the classroom for any reason, you need to use the e-hall pass, which I will show you in a few minutes how to use. So you'll use that e-hall pass system to request a pass, and then I will approve you, and then you can leave the room. There's a video here that shows you how to log into SB Link. Let's talk now about how to access your assignments on IXL using SB Link. So what you'll do is you'll click on the link that takes you to your SB Link, which should look like this, and you're going to log in the same way you would log into your computer. So the first part for your username is going to be the first part of your email address without the @sbcusd.ca.us. So it should be your last name, first initial, middle initial, and then the last 4 of your student ID. Then for your password, it's the same password you use to log into your Chromebook. From there, you'll go ahead and click Sign In. And it should take you to a page that looks kind of like this, and that allows you to access the e-hall pass system. Okay, here's a video that shows you how to request an e-hall pass.
Creates a pass. So this is something that you would do from your desk. You would log in and say you're leaving from period 1, and the teacher that you're with, type in the first few letters, and then select the teacher's name and where you're going to. In this case, we're going to the main office, and you hit submit. This is now what you see, and at this point, you would do what you normally do, raise your hand and ask your teacher for permission to leave the classroom. There are a number of ways that your teacher can approve your pass. Your pass, when it's red, is showing that it's waiting approval. Once a teacher approves your pass will turn green. If your teacher asks you to bring your pass up, just bring your device up to your teacher, and your teacher will click in on their name and type in their digital PIN. When they hit submit, the pass goes green and the stopwatch starts counting. Just so you know, this pass lives on the cloud, which means if you restart your iPad or your device or you log out, your pass continues to count the minutes that you're out. The next thing that you do is you are now headed to your main office, and when you get to the main office, you will need to be pinned in there. So when you arrive, make sure that somebody in the main office pins you in. This is what it would look like in the main office. They pin you in. And now do you notice that the pass has switched around? We're waiting now for the main office to sign you back out. You're in the main office trying to take care of business, some issue that you have, or something that you were asked to take care of in the office. It might take you a minute or two. When the office is ready to send you back to the classroom, they will pin you out again. As you can see, the bottom of your pass begins to show your pass details. Right now I'm showing this in military time, and I'm doing this in the evening. So 1943 is really, as you all know, right? 7:43 p.m. And it will tell you who in the office signed you in. In this case, for Mr. Hammond, the PIN that was used was Mr. Hammond's PIN, and so there was no need to put any extra details there. But let's just say that when you come back to Mr. Hammond's room, Mr. Hammond is out, and there's another teacher in there covering for Mr. Hammond. Maybe he had a short, quick emergency. So the PIN that is used is by, let's say, a Mr. Lucia. So Mr. Lucia was not expected on that pass, and so Mr. Lucia's name shows up in red. And that is just to let everybody know that something unexpected happened, but it was okay, and just log by, it logged the person's name who signed you in. And then because you were now back in your main classroom, the pass is over, and it just lets you know that it was also ended by that last person, Mr. Lucia. A few things you need to know. All pins are logged. So anytime a pin is used, even this Mr. Lucia pin is now logged on this pass. And so it's a way of teachers double checking to make sure that they indeed signed off on all the passes that they needed to. They can see all the passes for every day. Now, the other thing you'll notice, students, is that there is a little number 2 up here. So when you go to create another pass, if you were to create another pass, say it's now period 3, and you wanted to go quickly, let's say you wanted to use a quick pass and just go to the water fountain. You put in your teacher's name. Let's just say that you are now in Mr. Lucia's class. You hit submit. Mr. Lucia can now see that there is a number 3 there. If he wants to, he can check and go, I see that you went to the office twice with Mr. Hammond, and one time was for 38 seconds. That was just me testing it. The second time, that's obviously a very quick time as well, to the office and back. And now you're requesting to go to the water fountain. So your teachers can see your history of where you've been throughout the day. And so can you. And you can just browse through them by using the arrow keys, or you can see the little circles down here that show you how many passes you have, or you have the little circle there. That is basically the essentials of eHall Pass. Very simple to use electronic hall pass system that improves security and communication for students and teachers.
From here, I show you how to use Google Classroom. So everyone should already be in the Google Classroom account. If you do not, please let me know. Your parents I would like to have added as well. So if your parents are not in Google Classroom, please add them to your Google Classroom as well. Once you confirm that, please download the Google Classroom application and the Remind application to your phone. If you already have the applications, then you're fine. But if not, please add them to your phones. Remind. Everyone should also have a Remind account. I will be sending out a text to you shortly just to check to see if you got it. If you're not in Remind, please add yourselves. And if your parents are not in Remind, please add them as well so that I can send announcements to you. Again, the Remind application, you can add that anytime. Please make sure you add that to your phones. Aeries. There's a step-by-step guide here in the notes that shows you how to log in and access Aeries. So you can go to chscowboys.com and click on the Aeries link. If you click on create a new account, if you don't have one already, you can set one up by clicking create a new account. You would log in as a student. Your parents would go as parent guardian. You would enter your personal email address. In this, if it was your personal account for you, I would like you to use your school email. And then you'll create a password. It will send you an email from there, and you will click confirm this email address, and then hit return to login, and you will just log in. It will ask for the student information, so your school ID number, the telephone number of the student, and a verification code, which came to your email. And then once you've done that, you will have an Aeries account. So I hope all of this helps you understand how this class works and all the technology that you'll need. If you have any questions, you can always ask in class, or you can email or leave a comment on Google Classroom. Let's take a look now at how to complete the personality survey assignment. So it begins with the technology signups part. So we're going to scroll down, and it's going to ask us a couple questions. The first one is, do you have access to the Google Classroom account? You're going to check yes if you're able to access Google Classroom, or no if you're unable to access it. Then we'll move on to the next question. It says, did you receive the Remind text from your teacher? You'll put yes if you received it, no if you didn't, and mark if you do not have a phone. So if you don't have a phone, therefore you weren't able to receive the message, mark that one. And lastly, it says, do you have access to your Aeries account? Yes. No, but I can figure out how to create the account, or no, and I need help creating your account. So you'll go ahead and put your answers for these. So let's say I have access to all of these things. That's the goal at least. And then we'll go ahead and click next. This takes you to the personality survey. You're going to answer some questions about yourself. So what is your full name? So you'll put your first, middle, and last name. Is there another name that you go by? So let's say my name is Steven, but I go by Steve. That's where I would put it there. What is your favorite subject in school? So you'll pick from these 4 core subjects. What is your least favorite subject? Pick from the 4 subjects. Are you planning to join any activities at Cajon? That could be sports, clubs, theater, anything like that. If you're planning to join any of those things, go ahead and put that there. What is your all-time favorite movie? Who is your all-time favorite musician? What is your all-time favorite TV show? What is one thing in the past that your teachers have done to help you learn better? What is one thing your teachers have done in the past that made your learning more difficult? What is one academic or school goal that you have for this upcoming year? Maybe it's to get a 4.0, maybe it's to get a 3.0, maybe it's to pass all your classes or improve your scores or whatever it is. What is your goal for this year? 4 years from now, what do you hope to be doing? I'm hoping it's college for most of you, but whatever it is, that's up to you. Where do you hope to see yourself in 4 years? And then what is your favorite thing to do in your free time? And what is an email address if I need to contact one of your parents? So you'll go ahead and fill that out. Once it's done, you'll click next. That will send you on to the before you go. You'll fill that out and then submit your work.